Fair warning, I am going to probably swear on this video just a little bit and just to tell a story. Welcome to day 307 of our BU 365 day challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and today our topic is surrounding ourselves with. The people, the things we surround ourselves with have a huge impact on our life. And I want to tell a story about these, not brass knuckles, but they're brass knuckles from a company my daughter worked with. I love to share stories of my own experiences, but sometimes we learn things from people that we wish we would have known or used in our businesses sooner. And this is one of those examples. These are rings, a little brass knuckle ring that my daughter got at a management training and development session that she went to at corporate headquarters of the Burton company, Burton Snowboards I'm talking about. And the managers all showed up and did this presentation, and they had actually 4-part brass knuckles with unfuckable on it, and they gave each of the managers an unfuckable ring. That's a 2-part ring that actually says unfuckable on it. And why I love this is it is so consistent with the culture that they have created in that organization. They are so true to their core values, what their beliefs are, their mission to enhance and create. They created the snowboarding industry. To create and further that industry and further that sport is incredible. My daughter had a wonderful experience working for them, right up until the pandemic. And then she had a COVID baby, etc. And she's now having another non-COVID baby, but which I appreciate, my granddaughters. But we learned a lot from how companies, big companies, right? Burton Snowboards is a huge company, and Jake Burton passed away, but the company's still going strong because of the culture that he helped to create in that organization. And these rings are a very physical example and reminder of that culture and being true to who they are, just like we need to be true to who we are. And they built a huge team of like-minded people around this mission and purpose and these principles and core values that they live by today. And as long as they keep that alive, the company, I suspect, will continue to grow and thrive. So do we have something like this? Who do we surround ourselves with is the topic today. We surround ourselves with people and things all the time. If we don't do it on purpose, guess what? Accidentally, we're surrounded with people that we're putting out energy all the time, and we're attracting people that match our energy. So if we're going through a tough time in our life, guess what? We're putting out negative energy, and we're attracting more negative people into our life, or more negative circumstances or situations. If we're putting out positive energy, we're attracting the people and focusing on what we want to move forward. We're attracting those type of people in our life, people that can actually help us get and become and do and be and have what we want. So our action item today is just to kind of think about this. Do you know of any people that are great examples of who they surround themselves with? I can think of tons of examples of myself and other people that surround themselves with a network of people that help them to grow, and the whole group grows right along with them. Actors, there's a few actors and comedians that are terrific at this. Adam Sandler comes to mind. Every movie that he's made in the whole Happy Gilmore franchise, he brings with him his whole entourage and group of people and friends that he's come up with, his wife, his daughters, and certain actors and actresses, they are seen over and over again in his films. Why? Because he surrounds himself with people that make him a better performer, that make him a better human being. And by bringing them with him, they all become better human beings too. So he's one example. Jim Carrey is another person that's done that. I've seen this a lot in the comedy field, which I think is interesting, but I just happen to know more about that industry than other entertainment industries. I don't know much about the entertainment industry at all. So think today about, do you have an example like that reminds you of the importance of who we spend our time and energy with? I've noticed in my life, there have been times when I surround myself with a fantastic, growing, positive, amazing group of people, and I get better automatically for spending time with them, being around them, listening to them, learning from them. And there's been other times when I've hung around with people that aren't so motivated and aren't very positive or kind sometimes. My daughter likes to remind me that when I hang around with my sisters, I tend to not be as good a listener, and she's absolutely right. So we need to pay attention to the people we're spending our time with, the things we're feeding our mind, right? What are we listening to? What are we watching? What are we reading? What are we consuming on social media? Because all of those things have an impact on us. I almost never pay attention to politics or COVID or all the nonsense and information and misinformation around those topics. But I found that since we've all been sick in the household, we're all concerned about, do we have COVID? My daughter actually went and got tested yesterday. Hasn't heard back, which in my experience has been, if you don't hear back in the time they tell you that they're going to get back to you, it's probably a negative result. I only got tested for COVID one time, and I had to wait for like 2 weeks in the mail to get the answer that it was negative. So things change all the time. But our action item today is to think about and ask yourself honestly, right now, this minute, what 5 people, because 5 people is easy, you just jot down the 5 people, are you spending the most time with? And are they the right 5 people for where you want to go in your life? And it's okay if they're not. Sometimes we have to remember, excuse me, my nose is just going to kiss a fool. We have to remember that, and this is hard sometimes, people come in and out of our life for a reason. Sometimes it's a season, sometimes it's for a decade or 2, sometimes it's for our lifetime. But there's always a reason. And once they come into our life and we learn the lesson we're supposed to learn or have the interaction we're supposed to have with them, then they move out of our life or we move out of their lives. That's just the way it is. I mean, how many of us are friends with people that we met in our childhood? The older you get, the less of those you have, by the way. My mom, she's 85 and almost all of her friends have passed away or are a lot less healthy than she is. And so, like I said, the older we get, the less and the more experience we have with people coming in and out of our life, right? So what are we doing today? We are thinking about who and what we surround ourselves with. The who, because it's easy and fast and quick. If you want a quick and fast and easy thing. If you want to do a little extra credit and a little extra work on yourself, think about the 5 people, the 5 things that you're consuming most, the 5 things you're spending most of your time on. And are they the 5 things you want to be spending the most of your time on? Are they the 5 things that are moving you more quickly toward the things, the long-term goals and objectives and things that you really, really want? Or do you find yourself doing things that feel like you have to do or you should do? I spent a lot of years in the shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? And didn't serve me very well. All right, any questions, hit me up. Love to know if you know a story like this, the brass knuckles ring idea. I love rings because they're round. I love this because it is a physical reminder. Even though when was this experience? 2019 or 2018? 2019, I think, was when she got this. But even though it was years ago, she still has a physical reminder of the importance of being true to yourself, being true to the organization you're a part of, being in alignment with yourself and with the core values of the people you choose to surround yourself with. All right, have an awesome day. Any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow.